This video is a paid partnership with HMRC. Today we are going to talk about tax, specifically submitting your taxes as a content creator. Now don't click away because I promise it's not as scary as it seems and I've got a lot to tell you. Now straight up, I wish I had someone to tell me this when I first started all those years ago. It's 12 years ago now that I registered as self-employed through self-assessment, and I've learned a lot along the way, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. First thing, I have a question for you. Have you earned over £1,000 in the last tax year as a content creator? If yes, then you need to register for self-assessment before the 5th of October. Put that date in your calendar. For reference, the tax year is a 12-month period starting from the 6th of April on one year all the way through to the 5th of April the following year. And if you've earned over £1,000 through content creation in that period, then you need to get registered. Now, the registering process is actually much more simple than it seems at first. If you just go to the .gov website, they have a little questionnaire that you can fill out so you can decide whether you yourself need to register for self-assessment. To register, all you have to do is create yourself an account, and that will give you a government gateway ID. Keep that long number safe because that's how you log into your online tax account. Once you have that account, you can then register yourself for self-assessment. It's super simple. You just follow the steps. Anything that you are confused about or need a bit more information on, you just click the little help points and it'll guide you in the right direction. Once you've registered, within 15 working days or 21 if you're abroad, you'll receive a UTR, which stands for Unique Taxpayer Reference. Now this is what you use to submit your return. So you need to have that in order to do it. If you're impatient like me, you can actually go onto your online account and you'll probably get that sooner than the 15 days, or you can get the HMRC app and do the same thing. We love the impatience. So as soon as you have your UTR, you can go ahead and file your first tax return. Now do not fear. Once again, it's not as daunting as it seems, I promise. Let me talk you through it. The first question a lot of people ask is, what exactly do I need to fill in this form? And in very basic terms, HMRC want to know how much money you have brought into your business, which is income, and how much you have spent to run your business, or expenses. And we'll talk a little bit more about expenses in a little bit. Once you have those two figures, they take your expenses from your income, and that figure is the figure you will be taxed upon. If this figure is below the current tax threshold, which is at the moment £12,570, then you don't need to pay any tax. If it is above that, then you only pay tax on the amount that is above it. So say you're £500 over that number, you'll only pay tax on that £500, not the entire amount. And if you do need to pay any tax, the figure that you need to pay will be available for you to see in section 6 of your tax return, and it will calculate that before you've actually submitted it to. Also, even if you don't earn enough to pay any tax, you need to make sure you still file your self-assessment return. So basically, if you've earned over £1,000, you need to tell the government what you've earned, what you've spent, and what that middle number is. Once you've filled that out, there'll be a bunch of other questions on the form. If you get stuck at all, there's little blue help section things. Just click on those and it'll provide more information for you, and you can save your progress so you don't have to fill the entire thing out in one go. You can save it and come back to it, but make sure you submit it when everything is filled in. If you want some more information on all of this, you can click the link in the description because HMRC have made a really helpful video explaining it all, probably a lot better than I have. So we've done all that, your return is submitted, now what? You now have until the 31st of January to pay your tax bill, if you owe any. If you just log into your account through the app or online, you'll be able to see what you owe, and all you need to do is just make sure that's paid before that date. And if you don't pay it on time, you might receive a fine. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. In fact, to be honest, I recommend filing and paying as soon as you can. I personally do it ASAP because no one likes that last minute tax stress. You've probably seen people freaking out online last minute. We don't want that. File it as soon as you can. You might as well just get it done and out the way. Alright, so back to expenses. What can you class as expenses? There's a whole array of information available. I've linked a YouTube video down below, and there's also a helpful information page on the .gov website. But some examples of expenses that are allowable include travel costs, so fuel to travel to a meeting, getting the train, things you buy to sell on. So if you're buying merchandise to sell on, you can class that as an allowable expense. And also advertising and marketing. So for me, my website, paying for any advertisements on social media, that all classes as an allowable expense too. Other things that I claim as an example is my yearly subscription for my graphic design software. That's an allowable expense. Any office supplies, paper that I'm printing things out on, the cost of my camera to film this video, everything like that is an allowable expense. I definitely recommend checking out the information I've linked below because the list is quite vast and it might take a little while to get your head around it, but once you've done it a few times, you kind of understand what does and doesn't class as an allowable expense. Okay, so that was a lot of information. I hope I didn't word vomit too much through that. Again, links in the description for more information. But in short, if in the last tax year, which is the 6th of April 2022 to the 5th of April 2023, if between those dates you earned over £1,000 doing content creation, online, anything, whether that's brand deals, anything, if you've brought any money in within those dates that goes over that £1,000 limit, then you need to register for self-assessment before the 5th of October. Put that date in your calendar. In fact, straight after this video, click on the link, go and register, and then you've just got it done and it's out the way. Once you've registered, you can file a return within your own time as long as it's all finished and paid for by the 31st of January. So you've got a fair few months to get all the nitty-gritty sorted out. I hope that has helped to clear things up for you about filing your tax return and applying for self-assessment. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments below and I'll try my best to help you. Or if I don't know the answer, because I'm not an expert, I'm just learning and sharing what I know with you guys. If I'm not sure, I will point you in the right direction on the .gov website where you can get an answer. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you next time for another one. Bye!